a man is dying on the floor of a crack house. He's fat. He's wearing body armor 2 sizes too small. There's a machine gun next to him that he'll never pick up again. The room reeks, or it would, if smell existed inside a PlayStation, of burnt plastic and scorched ambition, and the chemical ghost of 1,000 bad decisions. His name is Melvin Harris. You know him as Big Smoke. 90 seconds ago, the only friend he ever betrayed walked through the door. Now he's leaking onto the concrete. And in his final breath, he doesn't curse, doesn't scream, doesn't spit defiance. He apologizes, quietly, almost gently, like a man who's been rehearsing a confession for months and finally found a priest. I got caught up in the money, the power. Then he dies. The building burns. The game moves on. I didn't. I sat with my controller going slack in my hands, feeling something I had no business feeling for a pile of polygons. Sadness, not for what Smoke did, for what he wanted. Because what he wanted wasn't evil. He wanted out. He wanted more. He wanted a life that didn't end the way every life on Grove Street seemed to end. Face down, young, with nothing to show for it. And that cracked something open in me, a question I couldn't close. What if the most interesting characters in Grand Theft Auto were never the ones we controlled? What if the real mythology of this series, the hidden architecture, the beating heart buried under all the carjackings and cop chases, belonged to the people standing next to the protagonist, the friends, the enemies, the weirdos, the ghosts, the ones who never got to be the main character, but who burned so bright they made the main character look dim. That's what this is. Every one of them. Their stories, their secrets, and one question tying it all together. Who is the most interesting character in GTA history? I have an answer. You're going to fight me on it. Age 1, the liars and the loyal. Every friendship in GTA is a bet. You're wagering that the person next to you won't pull the trigger when the money gets heavy enough, or the fear gets loud enough. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes this is the part that gnaws at 3 a.m. The person pulling the trigger loves you the whole time they're squeezing. Loyalty, betrayal, the bloody, blurred line between. We start where every betrayal story should, with the man who loved you most. Big Smoke, the hungry ghost. Rewind. Before the crack house. Way before. CJ has just landed at the airport in Los Santos. He's been gone 5 years. His mother is dead. Crooked cops just stole his money and dumped him in enemy territory. He's walking through Ganton in a white tank top, the California sun pressing down on him like a hand dodging bowlers who'd kill him for the color of his shoelaces. He makes it to Grove Street, his street, the house he ran from, the house that pulled him back, and who's standing in the living room. Big Smoke, big, warmed, taking up space the way a bonfire takes up a room. He wraps CJ in a hug that feels like a blanket, talks with his whole body, hands swinging, belly shaking, voice filling every corner of that small, cluttered house. He's making CJ feel safe. He's making Grove Street feel like home again. He's performing brotherhood so convincingly that you forget it might be a performance. Except not all of it is. That's what wrecks you. Some of that warmth is genuine. Big Smoke really does love CJ. He really does love Grove Street. The tragedy isn't that he's faking. The tragedy is that the love is real, and the betrayal is real. And they live inside him simultaneously, without canceling each other out. The drive-through scene. You already know it. Everyone does. CJ is behind the wheel. Bullets ricocheting off the car. Engine screaming. And Smoke is calmly ordering enough fast food to cater a wedding. 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, gunfire and toppings, chaos and condiments. It's the funniest moment in the game. It's also doing something sneaky. It's building trust. It's planting the idea that this man is unshakable, solid, the bedrock of Grove Street. He's not. He's the fault line. Because somewhere before CJ came home, before this story even began, Smoke made a deal. With Tenpenny, with the bowlers, with anyone offering a ticket out of Ganton. Why? Not greed, not villainy, terror. Big Smoke grew up on those blocks. Same schools, same food, same funerals. And every funeral, every friend buried at 19, every siren at midnight, every night spent pressing his face into a thin pillow while the block bled, carved the same message into his bones. Stay here and die. So when the offer came, he took it. Not because he was evil, because he was desperate, because wanting to live is not a crime, even when the escape route is. His ambition had no anchor. You can want more. Wanting more is survival, but wanting more at the cost of everyone who loves you isn't climbing. It's falling sideways. Where did the fall end? A palace built on crack smoke. Surveillance screens glowing in the dark. Junk food wrappers and body armor. And a machine gun that couldn't save him from the one person he actually feared. The friend he threw away. There's a detail in Smoke's death scene that stays with me. His voice, not angry, not defiant, tired, like a kid caught doing something he knew was wrong. And the guilt landed before the punishment did. I got caught up. 3 words. We'll hear them again at the end. They're the thesis of everything. Ryder, the quiet disappearance. Most people treat Ryder as a footnote. Smoke gets the monologue, the boss fight, the tragic arc. Ryder gets a shrug. He deserves better, because Ryder's betrayal is a completely different species. Smoke had a plan. Smoke sat in rooms with powerful people. His treachery was deliberate, calculated, almost architectural. Ryder just drifted. Watch him in those early missions. Wiry, twitchy, always moving. always agitated, like a man holding his breath for years who forgot how to exhale. He robs a pizza place with a baseball bat and a ski cap that hides nothing. He picks fights he can't finish. He talks bigger than his shadow. Ryder isn't a strategist. He's a weather vane. He reads which way the wind blows and runs with it, not toward anything specific, just away from whatever's collapsing. When Smoke switched sides, Ryder followed, not out of belief, not out of ambition, because Smoke was winning. And Ryder's only real talent was identifying a winner before the scoreboard updated. Smoke looked CJ in the eye and chose a different life. That takes something dark, sure, but real. A decision, a commitment. Ryder made no decision. He made 100 tiny surrenders, each one invisible. The friend who stops returning calls. The guy who's always busy when things get hard. The person who doesn't stab you in the back, just quietly stops standing next to you. That's most betrayal in real life. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just absence. A space where a person used to be. Maybe that's why nobody talks about Ryder. He's too close to something we've all felt. Catalina the hurricane. If Smoke is a tragedy and Ryder is a whisper, Catalina is a 5-alarm fire in a fireworks factory during an earthquake. She arrives in San Andreas like a natural disaster with a ponytail, screaming, shooting, robbing gas stations in a cocktail of Spanish and English and pure, uncut adrenaline. She dates CJ for approximately 15 minutes of game time and manages to make those 15 minutes feel like being strapped to a rocket that nobody installed a steering wheel on. Then she dumps him. Then she calls, repeatedly, to describe in vivid, enthusiastic detail how much better her new boyfriend is. Exhausting, terrifying, against every rational instinct, hilarious. But Catalina never lies. Not once, in a game soaked in deception. Smoke performing loyalty, Ryder performing toughness, Tenpenny performing justice while dealing crack. She's the one character who tells you exactly what she is. She wants money, says so, wants chaos, says so, wants control over every room she enters, says that too, usually while pointing something sharp at somebody's throat. She shows up again in GTA 3. Different game, different protagonist, Claude, the silent man. She's with Claude now. Opening cutscene. She shoots him during a bank robbery and leaves him bleeding on the floor. Not a character flaw. Character, period. Catalina doesn't betray people out of malice. She betrays them out of boredom. The second someone stops being dangerous, stops matching her frequency, they go from companion to obstacle. And Catalina doesn't navigate obstacles. She removes them. She's the GTA universe saying out loud what every other character mumbles under their breath. Everyone is using everyone. The only honest people are the ones who admit it. You can't say she fooled you. She told you who she was in her first sentence. You just didn't want to believe her. Little Jacob, the patron saint. Enough darkness. We've earned some light. You're Nico Bellic, fresh off a cargo ship from Eastern Europe, with a military past you can't outrun, and a cousin who lies about everything. Roman promised a mansion and a sports car. Reality delivered a roach-infested apartment above a cab depot and a mountain of gambling debts. You're angry, alone, grinding through a gray, rain-soaked city that wouldn't notice if you dropped dead on the sidewalk. Then, in a dingy alley behind crumbling row houses in Broker, you meet a Jamaican arms dealer named Jacob Hughes. Short, perpetually wreathed in marijuana smoke, so thick you could hang a coat on it. Speaking in a patois accent so dense, so beautifully impenetrable. The game provides subtitles that feel like educated guesses. He should be forgettable. 2 missions and gone. A stereotype. A footnote. He becomes the heart of the entire game. Why? Because everybody in GTA 4 wants something from Nico. Brucey wants validation. Manny wants muscle. Playboy X wants a triggerman. Elizabetta wants a soldier. The McRearys want a weapon. Even Roman, who loves Nico genuinely, wants his debts cleaned up and his loan sharks scared off. Nico is a tool. Everyone picks him up, uses him, puts him back on the shelf. Everyone except Jacob. Jacob calls to hang out. No mission attached. No favor hidden in the invitation. He wants to play darts, get food, drive through the city with the windows down, and the bass turned up, talking about life in that rolling, musical accent that makes even mundane observations sound like untranslatable poetry. He brings guns, good ones, discounted, because that's what friends do. Both endings of GTA 4, the dark one, the darker one, Jacob, is standing next to you. Not bought, not obligated, just there. His friend is walking into a war, so he walks into it too. In a universe where every relationship runs on transactions, where every handshake hides a contract in the palm, Jacob offers something that should be impossible. Friendship without a price tag, loyalty without conditions, the simple, almost absurd act of showing up for someone because you give a damn. He never keeps score, never asks Nico to be tougher or smarter or meaner, just asks him to show up, then shows up right back. And he survives, never betrayed, never abandoned, standing at the end of the game, still smoking, still incomprehensible, still ready to drive wherever you need to go. I'm going to crown a winner at the end of this. Name the most interesting character in GTA history. Jacob is the frontrunner, not because he's the most complex or dramatic, because he's the most necessary. But we'll get there. For now, hold on to one image. Nighttime, Liberty City. Rain stopped an hour ago, but the streets are still slick, catching every traffic light and neon sign in smeared streaks of red and green and electric blue. The city hums, sirens far away, bass from a passing car. 8 million lives pressed together. Jacob is in the passenger seat, talking something about Badman, something about a deal in broker, something about life, maybe. In that patois that turns English into music, you feel in your ribs more than you understand in your head. You're not listening to the words. You're listening to the presence. Someone is sitting next to you in this cold, enormous city, wanting nothing except your company. That's GTA at its purest. We're coming back to it. Cesar Villalpando, Love as Rebellion. Stay warm a minute longer. Cesar Villalpando should be the enemy. On paper, he's everything CJ is programmed to hate. Vagos affiliated, drives lowriders with hydraulics bouncing to Mexican corridos, dating CJ's little sister Kendall. In the world of San Andreas, where your identity is stitched to your neighborhood and your color and your set, dating across those lines is practically treason. First meeting, the temperature drops through the screen. CJ's jaw goes tight. His voice hardens. Some Vagos guy has his hands on his sister. But Cesar is patient, doesn't push, doesn't posture, lets CJ come around. And when the moment comes, the one that fractures everything, Cesar makes the call. You need to see this. He drives CJ to a parking garage. From behind concrete pillars, they watch Big Smoke and Ryder climb out of a car with Officer Tenpenny and a squad of bowlers. CJ's world cracks. Cesar is the one who showed him where. He didn't have to. Vagos and Grove Street are enemies. Helping CJ could get him killed, not metaphorically, not theoretically killed, but he does it anyway, because he loves Kendall. Kendall loves CJ, and for Cesar, that chain of love outweighs every chain of territory. In a game about gang warfare, turf, colors, a game insisting that your block is your identity, and the color you wear determines whether you live or die, Cesar says. None of that matters. Your family, that's heresy in the GTA universe, punishable by death. Cesar doesn't just cross the line, he erases it. His relationship with Kendall might be the only healthy romance in the entire GTA series. Across dozens of games spanning decades, almost every love story is toxic, transactional, or fatal. Cesar and Kendall just love each other, simply, stubbornly, without drama. In any other franchise, that'd be unremarkable. In GTA, it's the most radical thing on screen. Because stable is hard. Safe is something you have to fight for. And choosing a person over a tribe in a world that kills you for it is the bravest act in San Andreas. Cesar chose love. The love held. Packie McReary, the chain that wouldn't break. Same virtue, different wreckage. Picture a house, Duke's Liberty City, peeling paint, creaking stairs. The kitchen reeks of boiled meat and whiskey and decades of arguments nobody won. A Catholic cross hangs on the wall at a slight angle that nobody has bothered to straighten. Maybe ever. The McReary house, where loyalty goes to rot. The family, Irish-American gangsters, declining like an empire nobody bothered to document. Derek, a heroin addict whose veins quit cooperating years ago. Francis, a corrupt cop who'd sell his mother for a promotion, and in one mission, essentially asks you to sell his brother. Gerald, running operations from prison through phone calls and sheer gravitational force. Kate, the youngest, the kindest, and the most trapped. A decent person in a house that metabolizes decency into grief. And the mother, drinking, always drinking, sitting in that kitchen while the house crumbles and the crooked cross watches. Then Patrick McReary, the one holding it all together with his bare hands. He's magnetic, tells stories that make your ribs ache from laughing, turns a random Tuesday into a war story worth retelling. Quick joke, quicker gun, moves through Liberty City like he owns the deed, even though everything about his actual life says otherwise. Underneath the charm, he's going under. You hear it when the drinks stack up and the jokes slow down and his voice gets heavy. You hear it in the pauses, those tiny silences between sentences where the weight of the McReary name settles on his shoulders like wet concrete. He loves his family. That's his destruction. He loves them so ferociously that leaving is unthinkable, even though staying is pulling him beneath the surface, inch by inch, year by year. His loyalty stopped being a choice a long time ago. Now it's a chain, wrapped around his ankles, water rising. Then the bank job. 3 leaf clover, the best mission in GTA 4, maybe in all of GTA. And it belongs to Packie. He plans it, picks the bank, assembles the crew, runs the operation with cold precision that you've never seen from him before. And suddenly, you realize Packie is brilliant, a natural leader, reads situations instantly, adapts when the plan collapses, gets everyone out alive, while the streets explode with sirens and gunfire and shattering glass. For one mission, you see who Packie McReary could have been. If the family were different, if the kitchen didn't stink of whiskey, if the chain didn't hold. The mission ends. He goes home. The weight returns. The drinking resumes. Years later, real years, not game years. GTA 5. Different city, different coast, different generation of hardware. Packie appears as a random encounter on a Los Santos street corner. Older, lines deeper, the charm still there, but dimmer. A bulb flickering too long. He left Liberty City, left the house, left the cross and the kitchen and the chain. But breaking a chain and healing from the scars it carved are 2 very separate things. You can recruit him for heist work in GTA 5. He's still sharp, still capable, but something's different. A quietness where the fire used to be, like a man who escaped a burning building and can't decide if he's relieved or if he misses the heat. Rockstar carried this character across 2 games, 2 cities, 2 console generations. They followed him, checked in, showed what happened after the credits. Packie McReary survived, broke the chain, got out. He's still limping. The verdict on loyalty. Lay them all out. Big Smoke betrayed his people to escape them, died alone in a powder palace, surrounded by screens and rappers, wanting out so badly. He burned the only people who would have helped him find the door. Ryder betrayed by inertia, 1,000 tiny surrenders, died forgotten, which is worse than dying hated. Catalina betrayed everyone because that's what weather does. Kept moving, always will. Little Jacob stayed loyal the way lungs keep breathing without being asked. Survived, still standing, still smoking, still there. Cesar chose love over every other allegiance. The love held. Packie stayed loyal because the chain was too heavy to carry and too precious to drop. It almost killed him. Maybe it did. Loyalty in the GTA universe doesn't protect you, doesn't guarantee a happy ending, doesn't stop bullets, but it makes you matter. The loyal become legends. The disloyal become lessons. The universe enforces that every single time. Age 2, the madmen and the philosophers. New question. Harder. Is madness a defect or an adaptation? In a world where cops deal crack, the government runs drug experiments. Every businessman launders money, and the American dream is a pyramid scheme with better branding. Is crazy actually the problem? Or is it the only honest response to a dishonest world? The characters who lost their minds, what if they were the ones who found something? The truth, the man who saw the machine. Nobody knows his real name. He's never offered it. Nobody's thought to ask, probably because by the time you're in his orbit, you're too deep in a conversation about government radio frequencies and extraterrestrial agriculture to remember what a normal question sounds like. He lives on a weed farm in the San Andreas desert. Cracked earth, sunburned plants, acres of dust. His beard belongs in a mythology textbook. His van smells like decades of patchouli and paranoia. He speaks in winding sentences that start in one county and arrive in another, like a river that forgot where the ocean was. Hippie, burnout, relic. He should be a joke character you tolerate for 2 missions and never think about again. Except the truth is right about almost everything. The government is running experiments. Area 69 is real in the game, with real classified secrets. Shadowy agencies are pulling strings behind every major event. Mike Torno is a ghost operative working for organizations that don't show up on any chart. The truth sees all of it, the entire machine, the invisible architecture of power, propping up the GTA world. His problem isn't perception, it's translation. He can't describe what he's seeing in language anyone takes seriously. So it comes out as rants about mind control and lizard people and signals in the water supply. And because the packaging sounds insane, everyone throws away the product. Compare him to the rest of San Andreas. CJ fights over street corners. Sweet fights over colors. Smoke fights over money. Tenpenny fights over control. All of them inside the machine, smashing buttons, pulling levers. And not one of them, not one realizes there's a machine at all. The truth stands outside it. He's the only character who grasps that the street-level drama is a puppet show, that the wars are orchestrated, that the fights over corners and colors are entertainment for people who will never sit in the audience. He can't fix it, can't beat it, can barely articulate it without sounding like he's been staring at the sun since 1967. But he sees it, and in the GTA universe, seeing clearly is the loneliest intelligence there is. Trevor Phillips, the berserker's heart. Trevor is a protagonist, playable. He shouldn't be on this list. But Trevor Phillips is more interesting than the game he lives in. And GTA 5 is one of the greatest games ever made. So, the comfortable take, psychopath, chaos character, the one you switch to for guilt-free rampages. True, also shallow enough to drown an ant. Because Trevor's violence isn't random. Pay attention, really pay attention, and you'll see it. Every outburst has a target. Every explosion has an address. And the return address is always the same. Michael DeSanta, Michael Townley, whatever name he's using this decade. The best friend who faked his own death 10 years ago and walked away, who let Trevor believe he was dead. Not because there was no other option, because it was easier. Easier to start fresh in Vinewood. Easier to pretend the old life never happened. Easier to let Trevor grieve a ghost than to face him as a man. Trevor can handle betrayal. The world has betrayed him every day of his life. What he can't handle is the casualness. Michael didn't betray him in a dramatic showdown. He just left, like Trevor didn't warrant an explanation, like he wasn't worth a goodbye. Every car Trevor flips, every building he torches, every person he terrorizes, same scream on repeat. How could you leave me? How could I not be worth a goodbye? Not psychopathy, a broken heart detonating in the only language it speaks. And then Patricia Madrazo, wife of a cartel boss who treats her like furniture. Trevor kidnaps her during a mission. Should terrify her. Terrifies everyone. Something else happens. Something tender and unexpected and almost painfully sweet. Patricia sees what nobody else has the patience to look for. A man starving for gentleness, who has no idea how to ask for it without setting something on fire first. They cook together, sit on the porch of his trailer in Sandy Shores, watch the desert go orange in late afternoon. Trevor is calm, not performing calm, actually calm, a storm that found a harbor. He's not a monster. Broken man wearing a monster skin because it fit, and nobody offered him anything else. Underneath the meth and the rage and the screaming, just a guy on a porch, sitting with a woman who sees him, wondering if this is what peace feels like. The truth sees too much. Trevor feels too much. One is a prophet. The other is a berserker. Both called insane. Both just too full of something the world told them to keep quiet. Brucey Kibbutz, the man behind the muscle. The loudest man in Liberty City. Brucey Kibbutz. Muscles, steroids, speedboat, a tan applied by what appears to be an industrial spray gun. Voice permanently at a volume that threatens structural integrity. Genetically superior baby. Alpha male. The man. He calls Nico at midnight. 2 a.m. 4. Wants to go jet skiing. Wants to race. Wants to do anything involving speed and noise and the absolute avoidance of silence. Because silence is where the truth lives, and Brucey cannot afford the truth. Small hints first. A phone call where his voice drops, and he sounds lonely. Not loud lonely, but quiet lonely. The kind that sits in your stomach at 3 in the morning. The way he latches onto anyone who gives him presence, not admiration. He doesn't need you impressed. He needs you there. Then the Ballad of Gay Tony makes the hints louder. Strong suggestions. The game all but spells it out. That Brucey is a closeted gay man. Everything clicks. The hypermasculinity isn't confidence. It's armor. Heavy, load-bearing, panic-forged armor hiding the one thing he believes would destroy him if anyone saw it. Who he actually is. Every flex is a flinch. Every I'm the best is really, am I enough? Every over-the-top performance of alpha maleness is a man standing against a door he's terrified to open, holding it shut with everything he's got. GTA's most devastating commentary on masculinity. What happens when someone builds an entire identity on what they think the world demands and realizes, slowly, in the quiet spaces between the noise, that the man they built has no room for the man they are. The game invites you to laugh at him, designs him for it. That's the final knife, because the real world does that too. Yusuf Amir, the bare face. The inverse. Yusuf Amir, billionaire's son. The Ballad of Gay Tony. Gold plates everything. Cars, helicopters, guns. Probably his cereal bowl. Throws money the way other people throw punches. Often, enthusiastically, with minimal regard for where it lands. Loud, ridiculous, makes Brucey look like a librarian. The difference, Yusuf's excess comes from abundance. Brucey's comes from terror. Yusuf isn't hiding anything, not performing, not compensating. He's a rich, happy man who likes gold and helicopters and having fun. Full stop. He helps Lewis, the game's protagonist, without ulterior motives, genuinely delighted by chaos. Treats the criminal underworld of Liberty City like a theme park built for his entertainment. In a universe where everyone wears a mask over a wound, Yusuf is the anomaly. A person who is exactly what he appears to be. No hidden trauma, no buried pain, no twist. Sometimes the loud, ridiculous person is just loud and ridiculous. In a world of masks, a bare face is its own kind of radical. Mike Torno, The Ceiling. Hard shift. Mike Torno never fires a bullet at you, never raises his voice above a controlled murmur, never chases you down a highway. Scariest character in GTA history. Government agent. CIA, probably. Maybe something without an acronym, because it doesn't officially exist. He appears in San Andreas halfway through, and the game changes register. Stops being about gangs, starts being about systems. Calls from blocked numbers, materializes in parking lots and diners like a man who exists everywhere and nowhere, knows CJ's movements, where he's been, who he's talked to, what he ate. The deal is clean, brutal, almost beautiful in its simplicity. You work for me now. Steal military hardware, raid labs, fly planes into restricted airspace, do things that would put you in a hole so deep your grandchildren couldn't climb out. In exchange, your brother walks free. CJ has no counteroffer, no alternative. Torno owns the cards, and the table, and the room, and the building, and the city. And this is what keeps me up. Torno keeps every promise. Says he'll free Sweet. Sweet walks out a free man. Says he'll protect CJ. CJ is protected. Every deal, every word honored. The most honest liar in GTA. Doesn't pretend to be your friend. Doesn't dress the exploitation in warmth. Tells you the arrangement. You are a tool, and I am using you. And uses you exactly as advertised. That's the terror. Not cruelty. Not chaos. Competence. Torno is invisible power given a voice and a phone number. The kind that doesn't need threats, because it's already inside the walls. He represents the ceiling. Every character we've discussed. CJ, Smoke, Sweet, Tenpenny. They think they're the players. They think the game is corners, and cash and turf. Torno is the proof that above all of them, there are people running a game so massive that street warfare is background static. The system given a face and a government pension. Not a villain, a bureaucrat. And in the GTA universe, that's infinitely worse. The verdict on madness. The truth sees the whole machine. Nobody believes him. Trevor feels everything at full volume. Nobody can bear him. Brucey hides who he is behind a wall of noise. Nobody sees through it. Yusuf is exactly what he appears to be. Nobody expects it. Torno is the machine itself. Nobody stops it. The crazy characters in GTA aren't broken. They looked at the world without blinking and responded honestly. The truth with paranoia. Trevor with fire. Brucey with a mask. Yusuf with joy, Torno by becoming what everyone else feared. None of those responses are sane. But in a world this crooked, what would sanity even look like? It would look like Jacob, in a passenger seat, not understanding the machine, not fighting it, not becoming it. Just present, just a friend. We'll get there. Age 3, the clowns and the poets. Lighter on the surface, darker underneath. Can comedy save your life? Not comedy like a Netflix special. Comedy like a survival mechanism. The last tool in the box, when the box is almost empty. The thing you reach for when everything else, money, safety, dignity, options, has been confiscated. The clowns, the poets, the ones who kept laughing in rooms that should have made them scream. What happens when the laughter finally stops? Lamar Davis, the one who stayed. Lamar Davis enters GTA 5 the way. A brass band enters a funeral, loud, unapologetic. Completely wrong for the moment, in a way that makes the moment better. Franklin's best friend, tall, lanky, all elbows and angles and energy, talks with his whole body, voice carries across neighborhoods, walks into situations that should kill him with the serene confidence of a man who has never once, in his entire life, thought more than 4 seconds ahead. Reckless, consistently terrible decisions, trusts the wrong people, goes to the wrong places, starts the wrong fights, does all of it grinning. The yee ass haircut moment. You know it even if you haven't touched GTA 5. It left the game, became its own piece of internet infrastructure. Franklin in his bathroom. Lamar shows up and takes him apart, piece by piece. Hair, clothes, non-existent love life, entire existence, dissected with the surgical precision of a childhood friend who's been saving this roast for the perfect moment. Devastating, hilarious, true. Lamar's gift. He tells the truth, not carefully, not diplomatically, not with a preamble. He tells it the way fire tells you it's hot. Immediately, completely, without apology. But most people miss the thing about Lamar that transforms him from comic relief into something far more important. He's the only character in GTA 5 who never changes. Michael spirals through a midlife crisis. Franklin scales the ladder from repo man to millionaire. Trevor swings between destruction and tenderness like a pendulum in a hurricane. Lamar stays Lamar, start to finish. Same block, same hustle, same energy. Easy reading, he's stuck. Can't grow. Too dumb or too stubborn to evolve. Harder reading, and the truer one. Lamar doesn't change because he doesn't need to. He knows who he is. A street guy, not going to be a kingpin or a millionaire or a retired gangster on a hill. He's at peace with that, not performing aspiration, not faking ambition he doesn't feel, just living fully loudly, sometimes stupidly, in the only life he's got. That's not failure. That's integrity. Now the part that stings. Mission near the end. Franklin rescues Lamar from the bowlers. Again, another trap. Again, risk his life to pull Lamar out of the fire. Again, surface, Lamar is an idiot. Below the surface, Lamar doesn't have Franklin's options. Franklin has Michael as a mentor, a connection to the upper world, heist money millions, enough to change his zip code and his destiny in the same afternoon. Franklin has a way out. Lamar has nothing but the block. His recklessness isn't stupidity. It's the only agency available to a man with no doors. When you have no way up, you go sideways. You go loud. You go wherever the energy takes you, because standing still feels like a slow kind of death. Lamar Davis is the most honest portrayal in GTA 5 of what it means to be left behind by a friend who made it. Franklin got the mansion. Lamar got the same corners. And the distance between them isn't talent or intelligence. It's luck. That's the whole thing. Luck. The fact that Lamar keeps laughing, keeps roasting, keeps showing up, keeps being Lamar, while the world tells him he should be more, is braver than any heist, braver than any gunfight. Because staying yourself when everything screams you're not enough takes a kind of courage that bank robbers would envy. OG Locke, The Art of Theft. OG Locke is a rapper in San Andreas. He is, and I want precision here, the worst rapper in the history of fiction. Rhymes like a thesaurus falling downstairs. Flow with the rhythm of a shopping cart dragging a broken wheel. Stage presence that makes you want to crawl inside your own shirt and vanish. Works at Burger Shot. Gold chain he can't afford. Calls himself gangster, but gets nervous in actual gang situations, the way a chihuahua gets nervous at a dog park. Cringe incarnate. And exactly the point. OG Locke isn't a joke about bad rapping. He's a razor blade wrapped in a joke about bad rapping. What does he actually do in the game? Steals Mad Dog's rhyme book, takes the words from a real artist's notebook and claims them, sabotages a rival's concert, lies, cheats, hustles his way toward a career built entirely on theft and manipulation. And the industry rewards him. Not for talent, he has none. For image, gangster rapper from the streets. Hard, authentic, except nothing about it is authentic. Costume, brand, product designed for consumers who wouldn't recognize the real thing if it kicked their door in. Now compare him to Mad Dog. Mad Dog is genuine, talented painfully, genuinely talented, writes his own rhymes, pours his soul into the music. He's the artist Locke pretends to be. What does the game do to him? Takes everything. Mansion, career, rhyme book, dignity, drives him to the roof of a casino, ready to jump. Because the world stripped him clean and handed his skin to a fraud. Real artist on a ledge, fake artist getting a record deal. Not a joke, a thesis, Rockstar saying something sharp enough to draw blood about how the world actually works. Authenticity is a liability. Talent without hustle gets you the rooftop. Hustle without talent gets you the gold chain and the uniform, and a career built on somebody else's genius. OG Locke isn't funny because he's bad. He's funny because he's winning. And the system that lets him win is the real punchline. Except it doesn't land on Locke. It lands on us. Ken Rosenberg, the canary. Every coal mine needs a canary. Small, fragile thing that dies first when the air goes toxic. Not weaker than the miners. More sensitive. Feels what they can't feel yet. Ken Rosenberg is the canary of the GTA universe. You meet him in Vice City. Tommy Vercetti's lawyer. Coked up, sweating through suits that probably looked expensive in the store, but now look like they've been through a washing machine, full of anxiety. Talks at a speed, suggesting his mouth is trying to outrun his brain, and his brain is trying to outrun reality, and reality is gaining on both. Terrified of everything, the drugs, the violence, the mob, the fact that he went to law school to draft contracts, and somehow ended up laundering money for people who measure success in body counts. Everyone else in Vice City is calm. Tommy doesn't blink. Lance plays it cool. Sonny Forley makes death threats with the breezy tone of a man ordering coffee. The world is burning and nobody's sweating. Except Ken. Ken is drenched, vibrating, eyes darting around every room, hunting for an exit that doesn't exist. He's the only one responding appropriately. The drug empire, the murders, the constant grinding violence. It is insane. Tommy and Lance and Sonny adjusted their nervous systems to accommodate horror. Ken never could. His body keeps telling the truth, while everyone else's body lies. San Andreas. Years later. Las Venturas. Working for the mob. Whatever outfit still needs a lawyer too far gone to refuse. Worse, much worse, cocaine carved channels into his personality that can't be filled back in. Anxiety fossilized into paranoia. Not the paranoia of a man who might be in danger, but the paranoia of a man who can no longer tell danger from daylight. Those phone call scenes. Ken alone in his office, talking to nobody, voice cracking and tripping over itself, begging the walls for reassurance, telling jokes with no audience. The game plays them for laughs. They're not funny. They're the sound of a man who screamed for help for years in a language everyone mistook for comedy. By the time the screaming stopped, nobody was left to notice. In the GTA universe, the funny ones break first, not from weakness, from the fact that they were feeling everything, while everyone else had the decency to go numb. Manny Escuela, content before content. Short, but it haunts me. Self-appointed community activist in GTA 4 walks through Bohan with a camera crew, trailing him like pilot fish behind a very loud shark. Speeches about cleaning up the streets. self-produced documentaries about the neighborhood's problems, passionate, committed, and absolutely 100% insufferable. The things he says about the community are correct. The neighborhoods need help. The drugs are a problem. The violence is real. Diagnosis accurate. Prescription useless. His solution isn't action. It's footage. He's not cleaning the streets. He's filming himself talking about cleaning the streets. The camera isn't documenting change. The camera in Manny's mind is the change. Written in 2008, before Instagram influencers, before TikTok activists, before raising awareness, became the participation trophy of civic engagement. Rockstar built Manny as satire. History promoted him to prophecy. He predicted a decade of performative activism. Content has action. And the slow, quiet realization that filming yourself caring about a problem is not the same as solving it. His death, perfect, walks into Elisabetta's apartment during one of her paranoid spirals. Mid-sentence, mid-brand, mid-everything. Elisabetta, high, scared, out of patience, shoots him. No build-up. No dramatic confrontation. He dies mid-content, and the world doesn't pause, because the world never needed his content in the first place. Manny Escuela, 16 years ahead of his time, killed by a woman who'd run out of hers. The verdict on comedy. Lamar survives on humor because the alternative is silence, and silence is where despair lives. OG Locke succeeds on performance because the system was built for fakers, and he's the most enthusiastic faker in the room. Ken Rosenberg hid behind jokes while crumbling, broke first because he never learned to stop feeling. Manny Escuela performed caring so convincingly, he forgot he'd never actually started. The funny characters in GTA aren't the relief from darkness. They are the darkness in a laugh track, proof that humor isn't the opposite of pain. It's pain's best disguise. The most devastating part, the moments that make you laugh hardest, genuinely forget you're playing a crime game. Those are almost always the deepest tragedies, wearing a grin, laughing at Brucey while he dies inside, laughing at Ken while he falls apart, laughing at Lamar while his block slowly shrinks around him. Comedy in the GTA universe isn't escape. It's evidence. Age 4, the survivors and the ghosts. Bottom of the well. Water's cold down here. What does it cost to survive in a world that wasn't built for you? Survival in GTA isn't victory. Not a trophy. Not a mansion on a hill. Sometimes it's just being the person still breathing when the credits roll. Still standing in the wreckage. Still here. Still here has a price tag, and the universe always collects. Elisabetta tours the bonfire. Elisabetta tours, runs Bohan, runs it with style, intelligence, and the kind of magnetic force that makes people want to orbit her. Throws parties, music shaking the walls, drugs flowing. Deals cut in whispered conversations, in corners thick with smoke and ambition. Drug lord, connector, the person who introduces Nico to half the characters he'll meet. In her neighborhood, the closest thing to royalty that a place like Bohan can produce. And the kingdom is small. She's at the top, but the top of a neighborhood operation is the basement of the real power structure. Above her, people like Torno, people who move nations, not corners, who could erase Elisabetta without looking up from a classified document. She doesn't see it, too busy being the boss. But the walls are tightening, DEA circling, paranoia feeding on itself like fire that's run out of wood and started eating the furniture. Her last scene, apartment, parties over, music dead, armed to the teeth, wired to the ceiling, snorting lines off a table that used to hold champagne glasses. She shoots a man in her living room. Not toughness, terror. Then gone. News ticker. Drug kingpin arrested in Bohan. 6 words. The most powerful woman in her world. Reduced to a crawl at the bottom of a screen nobody's watching. In verse of Torno, he's invisible power that endures. She's visible power that burns bright, burns fast, and leaves smoke. The GTA universe is merciless about this. If people can see you, people can end you. The survivors stay in shadows. Elisabetta was never a shadow. She was a bonfire. Bonfires always go out. Playboy X and Dwayne Forge, the choice that haunts. Most important pair in GTA 4, maybe all of GTA. They come with a decision that follows you home. Separately first, they need to be understood apart before you understand what happens when the game puts them on a scale and hands you a gun. Dwayne Forge came home to find that home had moved. Out of prison after years that stretched and warped and erased the world he used to know. While he sat in a cell counting cinder blocks, his neighborhood shifted. Friends scattered. His business built corner by corner, handshake by handshake, from dirt, absorbed by someone younger, faster, who saw Dwayne's absence as an open invitation. He walks through Bohan now like a tourist in his own life. Same buildings, different names on the doors. Same corners, stranger faces. A ghost haunting a city that forgot he was alive. Depressed, not movie depressed, not dramatic Sayat sunset depressed. Real depressed, the kind where the world drains of color and sound, gets muffled, and getting out of bed takes energy that used to last a whole day. His voice is flat when he calls Nico. Words slow. He doesn't ask for favors or muscle or money. Just asks if Nico wants to hang out. Just to be around someone. Just to verify that he exists. Most accurate portrayal of depression in GTA history. Not weakness, not a plot device. A logical, human, valid response to having your identity erased while you watched through bars. Playboy X filled the vacuum. Dwayne's protege took Dwayne's contacts, corners, infrastructure while the old man sat in a cell. Modernized everything. Penthouse now. Nice clothes. Vocabulary stuffed with gentrification and community development and investment opportunity. Sounds like a success story. Sounds hollow, too, because every dollar he has was earned on a foundation Dwayne poured. Every connection traces back to a handshake Dwayne made. And instead of acknowledging that debt, Playboy X resents Dwayne for coming back. Resents the reminder. Resents the guilt. Talks about community, but profits from displacement. Talks about loyalty, but uses people as ladder rungs. Manny Escuela with actual power, which makes him dangerous instead of just annoying. The choice: gun in your hand. One dies tonight. You pick. Not a game mechanic. A moral exam. Grading is brutal. Kill Dwayne. Choose the shiny penthouse, the successful man, the future over the past. The game punishes you. Playboy X becomes paranoid. Calls with hollow congratulations. The penthouse empties out emotionally. The money goes stale. You chose the winner. The prize turns to ash. Kill Playboy X. Choose the broken man, the depressed man, the guy in the bare apartment who just wanted someone to answer the phone. The game rewards you. Dwayne becomes a real friend, starts to heal, gives you the penthouse, finds a reason, small, fragile, precious, to keep going. GTA 4 tells you, through mechanics and narrative consequence, that the broken, honest person is worth more than the polished, hollow one. Not subtext, text, the game whispering through its systems. Choose the real, even when the real is sad, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's a man in an empty room who just wants proof he matters. Choose him. He's the one who counts. Lance Vance built, not born. He's the guy who betrayed Tommy at the end of Vice City. 6 words: dismissive, reductive, flattening one of the most layered characters in GTA history into a punchline. Unflatten him. Lance Vance's brother is murdered in the opening minutes of Vice City. Shot dead. Drug deal gone wrong in the way drug deals always go wrong. Violently, chaotically, permanently. This death starts everything. Tommy's quest, the entire game's trajectory. All of it triggered by a dead man in a bad deal. Lance is grieving. Nobody gives him room. Tommy doesn't have time. The narrative doesn't have patience. The player doesn't care. There are empires to build, money to stack, missions to finish. Lance's dead brother is a plot point, not a person. His grief is a story beat, not a state of being. So Lance does what grieving people do when nobody watches, makes mistakes, goes after Dias too early. No plan, no backup, no patience, gets kidnapped, botches operations, lets emotion override strategy again and again and again. And every time, every stumble, every failure that so clearly comes from unprocessed grief, Tommy responds the same way. Contempt. Lance, you idiot. Lance, you messed up again. Lance, sit down and let me handle it. Hour after hour, mission after mission, the entire runtime. Diminished, dismissed, treated as subordinate in a partnership that was supposed to be equal. When Lance sides with Sonny Forley at the end, the betrayal doesn't feel sudden. It feels inevitable. Last brick on a wall built one insult at a time. Lance Vance is what happens when a man who needs a partner gets a boss. A man who needs to be heard gets told to shut up. A man who needs compassion gets efficiency. His betrayal is wrong, but understandable. GTA almost never lets betrayals be understandable. They're usually clean. Pick a side, move on. Lance refuses to be clean, insists on being complicated. That refusal is what makes him unforgettable. Johnny Klebitz killed twice. Warning on this one. Johnny Klebitz is the protagonist of The Lost and Damned, GTA 4's expansion, about a biker gang called the Lost MC, navigating the same Liberty City streets Nico walks, just from a different angle. Johnny is the chapter president, tough the way actual tough people are tough, not showy, just steady, hard, ready. Holds his gang together, while his president, Billy Gray, tears it apart through ego, addiction, and the kind of leadership that turns organizations into funeral processions. He has his own game, own story, own soundtrack, own moral arc. He fights wars, loses brothers, makes choices that sit on his chest at night. He matters, not as a side character, as a protagonist, with his own cover art and loading screen and narrative weight. By the end of The Lost and Damned, Johnny has won. Technically, Billy behind bars. Gang survives, but the victory tastes like tinfoil and old cigarettes. Ashley, his girlfriend, lost to addiction. Brothers dead or scattered. The club exists, but the warmth has leaked out of it. King of an empty throne. First death, thematic, death of purpose. Second death, GTA 5. Opening hours, Sandy Shores, California. Desert heat, trailer parks, dust and methamphetamine, and sunlight that bleaches everything it touches. Trevor Phillips is there, being Trevor, and Johnny walks into frame. Not the Johnny from Liberty City. This man is thin, gaunt, trembling, leather jacket hanging wrong, voice which used to carry the weight of command, cracking and wavering like a signal losing frequency. Meth, lost, a shadow wearing a protagonist's clothes. He confronts Trevor about sleeping with Ashley, upset, shaking, trying to summon the old authority, the old strength, the old Johnny. It won't come, not there anymore. Trevor grabs him by the head, stomps his skull into the pavement. A cutscene, maybe 15 seconds. The protagonist of an entire game. 20 hours of narrative investment. His own cover art. His own place in the history of Grand Theft Auto. Dead, desert road. Cutscene you can't control. 15 seconds. That scene is not about Trevor being tough, not about establishing dominance. Rockstar saying, nobody is safe. Nobody is guaranteed a legacy. The main character of one story is a footnote in another. The protagonist of 2009 is a background death in 2013. Your story can be revoked. Every character we've discussed, Jacob, Cesar, Packie, Lamar, exists at the mercy of a world that doesn't care about narrative satisfaction. They could all end like Johnny. Desert road, forgotten, without a boss fight, without a speech, without dignity. Not the villains, not the corruption, not the chaos. The most terrifying thing in the GTA series is the knowledge that it can all be taken away. In seconds, without warning, without poetry. Ron and Wade, the cost of charisma. Two more, brief, necessary. Ron Jakowski lives in a trailer next to Trevor in Sandy Shores. Conspiracy theorist. Ex-husband. Nervous wreck with a voice that trembles like a leaf in wind that's always blowing. Terrified of Trevor. Dependent on Trevor. Calls him boss. Flinches when Trevor moves too fast. Does whatever he's told. Not a partnership, an abusive relationship that both parties silently agreed to call friendship. Ron stays because worse exists. Being alone in a trailer with nothing but conspiracy theories. And the memory of a collapsed marriage is worse than fear. At least fear is a relationship. At least fear means someone is paying attention. Wade Hebert, simpler, much sadder, not equipped for the world he's in, cognitively limited, emotionally childlike, trusts completely, unconditionally, without the protective instinct that experience is supposed to install. Follows Trevor like a puppy kicked, just enough to flinch, but not enough to leave. Trevor is sometimes kind to him, gentleness that comes and goes like sun through storm clouds. More often, Trevor is casually cruel, reflexively cruel. The way powerful people are cruel to powerless ones when nobody's looking. Wade raises a question the series usually avoids. What happens to people who can't play the game? Not the ones who lose, the ones who can't find the board. What happens to the soft, the slow, the innocent? People who enter a world of violence and manipulation without armor. They become satellites, orbit someone stronger. Pray they don't drift too close to the heat. For every magnetic character in GTA, every Trevor, every Jacob, every Catalina, invisible people exist in their gravitational field, being compressed, reshaped, slowly ground down by proximity to someone whose story is bigger. Ron and Wade are the cost of charisma, the price tag on every interesting person, because interesting people take up space, and the people standing too close get crushed. Nobody talks about the satellites. In GTA, in life, they're invisible. Until now. The verdict on survival. Elizabetta survived until the spotlight found her. Visibility was the price. Dwayne survived prison, but lost the will to be alive. Time was the price. Lance survived being diminished, day after day, until he couldn't. Silence was the price. Johnny survived his own story, but not somebody else's. Irrelevance was the price. Ron survives by surrendering his dignity. Wade survives by never developing the tools to understand what he's lost. Survival in GTA doesn't mean winning. It means being the person still standing when the camera pulls away and the next story starts. And still standing is its own kind of wound. You're alive. You're here. Now you have to live with what it cost you. Every day. For the rest of a game nobody's playing anymore. Age 5, the Canon of Saints. Last age. Summit. We walked through betrayal and loyalty. Madness and clarity. Comedy and tragedy, and survival and loss. Characters who burned bright. Characters who burned out. Characters who just kept burning. One final question. Who transcends their game? Who stops being code and polygons and becomes a person? Someone you think about when you're not playing. Someone who changed how you see not just Grand Theft Auto, but storytelling itself. The canon, the ranking, the crown, the pantheon. All of them, not ranked by quality, by function. What did each one build? What piece of the GTA mythology belongs to them alone? The immortals, characters who changed what GTA could be. Little Jacob, proof that unconditional loyalty can survive in a universe running on cynicism. Trevor Phillips, proof that a character can be repulsive, magnetic, and heartbreakingly true in the same breath. Big Smoke, proof that a villain can be a tragedy. Before these three, GTA characters fit in boxes. Good guys here, bad guys there. Comic relief in the corner. These three smashed the boxes. Proved a single character could hold contradiction. Funny and devastating. Terrifying and tender. Loyal and traitorous. All at once. Gave GTA permission to be complicated. The architects, characters who built the emotional infrastructure. Packie McReary, loyalty as self-destruction. Loved so hard it buried him. Lance Vance, betrayal as inevitability. Pushed toward treachery one insult at a time. Cesar Villalpando, love as rebellion, chose a person over a tribe and proved the person was enough. Lamar Davis, authenticity as armor, stayed himself while the world said be more. Elizabetta Torres, power as a temporary condition, a queen whose kingdom fit in one apartment. Mike Torno, the system given a face, the ceiling nobody knew existed. Without them, GTA has plots. With them, it has soul. They're load-bearing walls. Remove anyone, and the structure wobbles. The mirrors, characters who showed truths nobody wanted to see. Brucey Kibbutz, masculinity as performance, screaming so loud he couldn't hear himself crack. OG lock, art as theft, talentless and winning, because the system was built for talentless men. Ken Rosenberg, humor as a death rattle, sang until the air ran out. Manny Escuela, activism as content, prophet of a decade that hadn't happened yet. The truth, paranoia as perception, saw everything, believed by no one. Johnny Klebitz, revocation of narrative, proof your story isn't yours to keep. Mirrors don't lie. That's what makes them hard to face. These characters don't tell you what you want to hear. They show you what you'd rather not see and leave you alone with the reflection. The ghosts, characters who follow you home. Dwayne Forge, depression as a valid response to a world that erased him. Ron Jakowski, codependency as survival. Ryder, the quiet betrayal, the one that hurts more because it makes no noise. Catalina, honesty so pure it becomes violence. Wade Hebert, innocence with no shield. You don't think about ghosts during gameplay. They come later, at night, in quiet moments, surface without warning and bring something with them. A weight, a question without a clean answer. Ghosts don't scare you. They linger. The Crown. We're here. 5 ages, dozens of characters, betrayals and loyalties and tragedies and comedies, and a man who gold plates helicopters, and a man who sells weed from a smoke-filled car, and a woman who shoots people when she's bored, and a bureaucrat who keeps his promises, and a biker who got his skull caved in on a desert road. All interesting, all worthy. One crown. Little Jacob. I already feel the pushback. Jacob, the weed dealer you can barely understand. Over Trevor, over Smoke, over Packie and Lamar and Torno. Yes, every other character on this list is interesting because of what they do. Trevor's rage, Smoke's betrayal, Packie's pain, Torno's power, Lamar's persistence. Jacob is interesting because of what he is. Kind, that's the thesis. Kind in a world that doesn't reward kindness. Loyal in a world that doesn't protect the loyal. Present in a world that punishes caring. A series defined by cynicism, and he's sincere. A universe built on transactions, and he offers friendship for free. A world that teaches you mission after mission, death after death. That trust is a trap, and everyone is using everyone. And Jacob stands there in his cloud of smoke and says, "Nah, I'm just your friend." Not the most complex character, maybe the simplest. Motivations aren't layered. Backstory isn't tortured. No dark secret. No hidden agenda. No third act revelation that reframes everything. Just good, consistently, stubbornly, inexplicably good. In the GTA universe, that makes him the rarest thing alive. Every character on this list is searching for the same thing. whether they know it or not. Smoke wanted belonging, looked for it in money and power and betrayal, found a crack house. Trevor wanted permanence, someone who wouldn't leave, looked for it in violence, found a desert full of people who stay only because they're scared. Packie wanted rescue, looked for it in bottles and bank robberies, found a street corner in Los Santos. Alone, Dwayne wanted proof he existed, looked for it in a phone that didn't ring, an apartment that stayed empty. All of them wanted what Jacob gives, freely, without cost, without negotiation. Connection, the word, the nucleus, the thing the entire franchise, across every city, every decade, every protagonist searches for under all the noise. The simple, devastating, human experience of being known by someone, having a person who calls not because they need something, but because they were thinking about you. GTA is a universe of isolation, everyone alone inside their ambition, fear, performance, building walls, digging moats, arming perimeters against the possibility of being hurt. Jacob walks through all of it, ignores the walls, swims the moats, sits in a car that smells like Jamaica, and says something you can't quite parse. And the feeling that settles in your chest, warm, strange, unfamiliar, is the feeling of being chosen, not for utility, not for strategy, for you. Most interesting character in GTA, not because of what he does, because of what he represents, the thing the franchise has been searching for since 2001, buried under all the gunfire and satire and stolen cars. A person who shows up. The final image. Promised I'd come back to this. Nighttime, Liberty City. Late, the kind of late, where the city thins out and the spaces between sounds widen. Rained earlier, streets still slick, catching every light source and turning it into smeared watercolor. Red from a brake light, green from a signal, cold white from a street lamp, reflected in a puddle that looks deeper than it is. You're driving, no mission marker, no waypoint, no urgency, navigation off, just moving because moving feels better than stopping. Radio on, something half recognized, doesn't matter what. Texture, rhythm, Jacob in the passenger seat. Talking, Badman, a connect in East Hook. Something philosophical, maybe. Delivered in patois, so thick, it turns English into music. You feel in your ribs more than you understand in your head. Not listening to the words, listening to the presence. The fact that someone is sitting next to you in this cold, wet, enormous city, wanting nothing except your company. That's it. GTA at its purest. Not five-star chases, not helicopter explosions, not plot twists. The ride, the company, two people sharing a car, and a silence that isn't empty, it's full. Full of warmth you don't notice until it's gone, and the passenger seat is empty, and you realize, with a pang that surprises you, that you miss him. That's what the most interesting characters in GTA give you. Not power, not spectacle, the feeling that you're not alone. In the end, real life, the game, the strange liminal space where the two overlap and a fake person makes you feel something real. That's all any of us are looking for. The protagonists, the men we played as. We spent all this time on the people who surrounded the player character, the friends, enemies, satellites. Now turn the camera around. A secret GTA hides in plain sight. The protagonists are windows, not portraits, built to be looked through, not at. They're the frame. The side characters are the painting. But some frames are masterpieces. Claude the Silence, GTA 3, doesn't speak. Not a word, not a grunt, not a whispered curse when a car clips him at 60. Void in a leather jacket. Fascinating, though. Everyone around Claude projects onto him. Catalina sees a partner. The Yakuza see a weapon. The mob sees a tool. Nobody asks what he wants, because he never says. A mirror that everyone mistakes for a window. Argument to be made that Claude is the purest GTA protagonist. The most honest version of what a player character is. Empty vessel, carrying the player's intentions through a world of other people's stories. No moral framework, no arc, just forward motion. Through missions, alliances, betrayals. Like a shark, not evil, just unable to stop. Claude is interesting the way a black hole is interesting. Not for what's there, for the shape of the space around what isn't. Tommy Vercetti, The Empire. Vice City, first GTA protagonist who feels fully human. Arrives fresh from prison, 15 years behind bars for a job gone wrong. Sent by Sonny Forley to establish operations in Florida's pastel-colored narco paradise. Within minutes, robbed, betrayed, left with nothing but a Hawaiian shirt and a temper with no off switch. Tommy's defining quality isn't violence, though he's drowning in it. It's ambition. Doesn't want to survive Vice City. Wants to own it. Buys properties. Builds businesses. Takes over the drug trade. Goes from errand boy to king in one game. What separates Tommy from every GTA protagonist after him? He wins. Completely. Unambiguously. End of Vice City. Mansion, money, Empire City. He's on top. And unlike Michael or Nico, Tommy doesn't seem particularly bothered by the mountain of corpses he climbed to get there. That moral simplicity is either his greatest flaw or greatest strength. Not tortured, not conflicted, a man who decided what he wanted and took it. And if people died, they should have been faster. Tommy Vercetti, the GTA protagonist as capitalist parable. The American dream with a machine gun. And Vice City never quite decides if it's celebrating or condemning him, which is maybe the most American thing about the game. Carl C.J. Johnson, The Homecoming. San Andreas, most emotionally complete main character in the series. Fight Me comes home to bury his mother. Starting point isn't ambition or revenge. It's grief. Walks through a door into a house that still holds the shape of the woman who raised him. And she's gone. And she's never coming back. And the game lets you feel that through small details. Photos on the wall. Empty kitchen. Silence that fills a house after someone dies. Pulled in every direction. Sweet wants him riding for the set. Smoke and Ryder want him riding for something else, though he doesn't know that yet. Tenpenny wants a puppet. Kendall wants him to be better. Cesar wants family. What makes CJ special? Range. Grove Street to San Fierro, to Las Venturas, to the desert, and back. Triads in Truth and Torno, and the mob. He raps and robs and races, and flies jets, and steals military hardware. The biggest, widest, most sprawling game. And through all of it, CJ remains the same kid from Ganton trying to figure out who he is without his mother to tell him. His tragedy. The world keeps declaring who he should be, and the answer changes depending on who's talking. CJ as contested territory. Everyone planting a flag. Nico Bellic, the war that followed. GTA 4. Saddest man in Grand Theft Auto. Cargo ship from Eastern Europe. The game never specifies exactly where, but the implications are heavy. War, the Balkans, atrocity, things the game only hints at, things living in the pauses between sentences, and the flatness behind his eyes. Roman promised the American dream. Reality, roach apartment, gambling debts. A city indifferent to one more immigrant with blood on his hands. Nico hunts for two things. Surface, a man who betrayed his unit during the war, got his brothers killed. Underneath, redemption, a way to clean the blood off, a way to wake up without ghosts, sitting on the edge of his bed. Wants to be good, wants to start over. The game, with the relentless cruelty that defines GTA 4's vision of America, keeps answering. The past isn't something you leave behind. It's something you drag, and it gets heavier the farther you walk. Most literary GTA protagonist. Immigrant story. War story. Crime story. Tragedy. And unlike Tommy or CJ or Trevor, Nico knows what he's doing is wrong. Every kill weighs. Every mission leaves residue. Not numb to the violence, drowning in it. Both endings, Roman dies or Kate dies, are devastating because neither offers what he came for. Nico sailed to America to escape the war. America turned out to be another battlefield, just better lit. Michael DeSanta, the retirement that wouldn't stick. First protagonist of GTA 5. Retired bank robber. Mansion in Vinewood Hills. Wife who hates him. Daughter who despises him. Son who ignores him. Therapist who bills him. Has everything. The house, the cars, the pool, the view. Miserable. GTA's midlife crisis, given a body. Tony Soprano in the California sun, a man who achieved the American dream and discovered with horror that only clarity brings. The dream was hollow. What makes Michael interesting? Self-awareness. Knows he's unhappy. Knows his family is falling apart. Knows the deal he made with the fib, trading Trevor's freedom for suburban purgatory, was morally catastrophic. Knows all of it. Does nothing. Sits by the pool. Watches old movies. Drinks. Sees the therapist. Waits for something to happen because making things happen would require looking at himself honestly. And honesty is the one thing Michael can't afford. Trevor can't stop feeling. Michael won't start. Franklin Clinton, the latter. Third protagonist. GTA 5's quiet center. Starts in Strawberry, South Los Santos. Repo man, a job that means driving fast and disappointing people. Best friend Lamar dragging him deeper into street life. Aunt wanting him to go straight. Dog named Chop wanting only affection and snacks. Franklin's gift, observation. Watches Michael and sees a cautionary tale about the cost of success. Watches Trevor and sees a cautionary tale about the cost of unrestrained authenticity. Watches Lamar and sees what happens when the break doesn't come. Then tries to thread the needle. Rise without losing himself. Money without misery. Mansion without malfunction. Whether he succeeds is GTA 5's great open question. By the end, Franklin has money, a nice house, his dog, his freedom. But the game never says he's happy, leaves it ambiguous. The game asking, you got what you wanted. Was it worth it? Franklin as question mark, the one who might actually make it. But might is doing a tremendous amount of work in that sentence. Where the protagonists fit. The paradox. Protagonists get the most screen time. You inhabit them. See the world through their eyes. Press the buttons. Yet when people talk about GTA, they don't talk about CJ. They talk about Big Smoke. Don't talk about Nico. Talk about Jacob. Don't talk about Franklin. Talk about Lamar. Protagonists are the vessels. Side characters are the cargo. Cargo is what people remember. Not a flaw, a design choice. Rockstar builds protagonists who are reactive, shaped by the world, pushed and pulled by the people around them. Side characters are active. They push, pull, bring texture and color and surprise. Protagonists are the question. Side characters are the answer. And the best answers, Jacob, Smoke, Packie, Lamar, Trevor, keep echoing long after the question's been forgotten. The next chapter, GTA 6 and the future of the canon. Forward now, into fog. GTA 6 is coming. I want to be precise about what's confirmed and what's speculation. Both are worth discussing, but they're not the same thing, and I'll tell you which is which. Lucia the First. Confirmed, Lucia is a playable protagonist. First female protagonist in the mainline GTA series. 2 decades of releases. She's the first, not a token addition. Trailer footage shows her as central, possibly the central figure. Prison scenes, a criminal past, a woman fighting out of a system never designed to let her win. The setting is Leonida, a modern, expanded version of the Florida-inspired Vice City, and the trailers frame Lucia and her partner Jason in a Bonnie and Clyde dynamic. All of that is confirmed through official Rockstar material. Now my speculation, clearly labeled. If Rockstar does with Lucia what their track record suggests they're capable of, she could be the most complex protagonist the series has ever produced. The GTA universe has always been about power structures. Put a woman at the center, and you open questions the series has never asked. What does ambition look like for someone the world assumes is a supporting character in someone else's story? What does it cost to build an empire when the architecture wasn't designed for you? Not just game questions, canon questions. Jason, the other half, Lucia's partner. Trailer footage confirms a romantic and criminal partnership. Speculation. Jason sits in a dangerous spot narratively. If Rockstar isn't careful, he's generic, another tough guy with a gun. But if they're precise, and their history says they can be, Jason could be the first GTA protagonist defined primarily by a relationship rather than a solo arc. Every protagonist we discussed, Claude, Tommy, CJ, Nico, Michael, Franklin, is fundamentally alone. They have allies and enemies, but the story is about one person moving through the world. If Jason's story is inseparable from Lucia's, that's new ground. GTA hasn't done that. Online speculation and community rumors have gone back and forth about whether Jason might betray Lucia or whether one of them dies tragically. None of this is confirmed. Zero. These are fan theories circulating on forums and social media. But the fact that people are already emotionally invested in the relationship before the game ships tells you something about the power of that dynamic. The characters we don't know yet. Pure speculation territory, based on patterns, setting, and Rockstar's habits. The Jacob figure. Every GTA game produces one. The ride-or-die friend who anchors the protagonist's emotional life. Jacob in IV, Cesar in San Andreas, Lamar in V. GTA 6 will have one. Leonida draws from South Florida's cultural mix. Cuban, Haitian, Caribbean, Southern, Latin American. Rich soil for a character who brings cultural specificity and warmth. And the kind of loyalty that makes you forget you're playing a game about crime. Whoever they are, they'll be the character people argue about a decade from now. The best friend is always the one who lasts. The smoke figure, the betrayer, the friend who turns. GTA can't resist this because it's too dramatically potent. Someone in Lucia or Jason's circle will switch sides. The question is whether Rockstar gives that betrayal the depth they gave Smokes. A tragedy, not just a twist. Or whether they find something the series hasn't done yet. Fan communities, have scrutinized background characters, visible in trailer footage, speculating about who among them might be the one to turn. Unconfirmed, but the pattern is strong enough to bet on. The Torno figure, the ceiling, the invisible power. Every GTA game has a moment where the protagonist realizes they're not the biggest fish, that forces above them are so vast and so indifferent that all the street drama is noise. In Leonida, with its apparent focus on modern social media culture and the spectacle of contemporary Florida, that ceiling might look different. Speculation on my part. It might not be a government agent, might be a tech mogul, a media baron, a platform. The system might not wear a suit, might wear a hoodie and carry a phone. Rockstar satirizes the power structures of its era. 80s drug trade, 90s gang industrial complex, 2000s war on terror immigrant experience, 2010s post-recession capitalism tech bro hollowness, 2020s the power structure is the algorithm. The invisible hand isn't government. It's data. If Rockstar gives that a face, a torno for the attention economy, it could be the most unsettling antagonist they've ever created. Pure speculation, but informed by 25 years of watching them work. The wild card. Every game has one. A character nobody predicts. Doesn't fit the playbook. Just emerges from the world, fully formed and strange and unforgettable. The Truth in San Andreas, Brucey in GTA 4, Trevor in V. So wild they promoted him from side character to protagonist. GTA 6 will have a wild card. Can't predict it. That's the whole point. All I'll say, watch the margins. The most interesting character in GTA 6 probably won't be on the poster. They'll show up in Chapter 3, in a throwaway mission, in a car that smells like something you can't name, speaking in a voice you've never heard. You'll know them when you meet them. They'll make you feel something you didn't expect. What GTA 6 needs. Last piece of speculation. Not about characters. Philosophy. The best GTA games understand that crime isn't the point. Crime is the setting. The point is people. What happens to human beings when the game is crooked? The system is rigged, and the only options are bad. If GTA 6 remembers that, if it builds Lucias and Jasons and Jacobs and Smokes who feel like people first and characters second, it won't just be a great game. It'll add names to the canon, give us new ghosts to carry, new friends to ride with at midnight, windows down, radio low. Maybe, just maybe, it gives us a new Jacob, someone who shows up, someone who stays, someone who reminds you, through the noise and the neon and the chaos, that the point of the ride was never the destination, always the company. Epilogue, the canon endures. Long ride, hours if you've been here since the beginning. End where we started. Man in a crack house, big smoke dying on the floor, CJ standing over him, building about to burn. And in his last breath, Smoke says something I think is the thesis of the entire Grand Theft Auto series, hidden in a dying man's mouth. I got caught up. 3 words. They apply to everyone. Packie got caught up. Family's gravity. Loyalty that became a chain. Lance got caught up. Grief nobody made room for. Partnership that treated him like equipment. Brucey got caught up. Performance of manhood that swallowed the man underneath. Elizabeth got caught up. Throne too small for the crown she put on her head. Johnny got caught up. Belief that being a protagonist would keep him safe. All of them caught up in ambition, fear, love, rage, the machine. And then Jacob. Jacob didn't get caught up, stayed himself in the smoke and the noise and the chaos of Liberty City, just kept being Jacob, kept showing up, kept calling, kept sitting in passenger seats, speaking in an accent nobody could decode, offering friendship to a man who didn't know he needed it. The exception, the anomaly, proof that in a world designed to grind you down, it is possible, difficult, unlikely, almost miraculous, but possible to be good. That's the canon of saints, not a ranking, not a tier list, a belief system embedded in code, written inside a game about stealing cars and shooting people. The belief that even in the worst world imaginable, there are people worth believing in. The belief that even in a game about crime, the most powerful thing a character can do is show kindness. The belief that a weed dealer in a beat-up car with an incomprehensible accent can be the most interesting person in a universe full of kings and killers and gods. Because he was kind, because he showed up, because he stayed. The canon endures. Thanks for riding with me. See you in Vice City. Honorable mentions. Quick salute to characters who deserve their own video. Phil Cassidy, one-armed arms dealer across 3 GTA games, loses the arm to a boomchain explosion. 3 games, 1 arm, infinite stories. Roman Bellic, cousin Let's Go Bowling, most annoying and most lovable character sharing the same body. Optimism that survives everything Liberty City throws at it. Right up until, in one ending, it doesn't survive at all. Woozy, blind man running a triad in San Fierro. The game barely mentions his blindness. Neither does he. Runs everything. Brilliantly. Beats you at video poker. Lester Crest, brain behind every GTA 5 heist. Brilliant, paranoid, agoraphobic, genius trapped in a house smelling of energy drinks and unwashed ambition. 0. RC helicopter missions. You remember. You're angry right now. Umberto Ribena. You got big cojones. Says it to everyone. Every time. Only thing he says. Perfect. Denise Robinson. CJ's first girlfriend. Will dump you if you don't take her to Clucking Bell enough. Standards are standards, even if those standards revolve exclusively around fried chicken. Each of them earned their place, made us feel something, each in their own way, a saint in the canon.